Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Mayor, City of Trenton, and this is Town Hall Tuesdays at 3:30. As we discussed, 2 weeks ago we done our first town hall. We talked about elections, and last week we talked about with public safety. And some of the information we're talking about is we was planning on doing community meetings in districts of the county commission and for the City of Trenton. And a lot of questions have come up and information about what SPLOST has done for the City of Trenton and Dade County Commission. Again, we're giving information. We had a lot of information or a lot of feedback from when the transportation SPLOST went out that we were to be more transparent, and we're trying to work with our social media to give this information out. We've had SPLOST in the county and city since the mid-90s. There's been several capital purchases of equipment and buildings and supply and equipment that we need to continue working on to keep the improvements of the county and the city. Today we have, to my left here is Stacy Stevens. He's the director of the Dade County Sports Complex, or the original name of the 4 fields, but we know we have more fields down there with soccer and football. And to his left is a director, Ronnie Page. He's over the city Trenton Parks and Rec, and he's also our animal control director. He kind of wears 2 hats here in the city. And you know, each time recreation departments with the county and city are here, and one of the greatest assets that we have in any community in town is our children and the facilities for people to exercise and do what they need. And we have 2 beautiful city park and our county sports complex, and thought it'd be good for these guys to talk about what SPLOST has done for these departments and what they do. And again, it's just information. We're asking you to make some decisions if you would like to continue improvements for the city and county. We're just more or less giving you the information what it does. Again, the big thing is capital purchases to continue improving things that are getting outdated or better for efficiency, for power and things of that, and continue the maintenance operation of that. So Stacy, we'll start with you and kind of explain what the Dade County Sports Complex does, what all benefits it does for the citizens, for the children, the adults, all the civic groups that come down, and you and your full-time men, and you have seasonal men that come in, or yes, folks, and what SPLOST has done to improve the facilities and helps you maintain that facility.
Well, at the park, it's a year-round project. In the wintertime, we do a lot of maintenance, and then to get ready for our spring and summer, but we have a lot of people that walk year-round. On average, I'd say there's at least, in the wintertime, around 30 to 50 people a day come down, eat lunch, walk around the tracks, or play tennis, play pickleball or basketball. And the SPLOST entitled us to resurface the tennis courts and the pickleball courts back in 2017 under our current SPLOST.
And that was cracking due to the asphalt and time?
The time, weather had put some pretty bad cracks in it, and the price to rebuild the tennis courts was going to be quite a bit more than what it was now. And then I found a procedure called armor crack repair, to where we covered the cracks in the tennis courts, and we converted one tennis court into 2 pickleball courts, and took another tennis court and made a basketball court. And they covered all the cracks, put a resurfacing on, and it saved the county a lot of money. With our lighting at our soccer fields, we didn't have it up until 2019, and the SPLOST enabled us to put the lights on the 2 soccer fields, the football field, and our what we call our field 4. for baseball and softball, which we didn't have lights on.
One of those things you explained to me, and I heard you explain to the commission, is that you'll get into this in a minute, but all the rec leagues, once you give times and schedules for fields, you actually can allow them, if they work after hours, to turn that on, or you can pre-schedule those lights to be turned on and they turn off, so we're not wasting power and efficiency of those.
The old system around the original fields that were built, you had to manually go in and flip a switch, which meant everybody had a key. And with this new system, you can take a smartphone. I can either program it to come on and go off at certain times, or I can give certain people access codes to where they can cut it off. And it gives me a printout if I go on when I go on their website, to when it was cut on, who cut it on, what time they cut it off. And with these new LED lights, it saves the taxpayers a lot of money as far as power consumption.
How many different divisions of folks use the facility with the children, the rec leagues, between soccer and football, softball, baseball?
We've had fast pitch softball tournaments, slow pitch softball tournaments and games. Baseball has tournaments and games. The soccer leagues, they'll have tournaments and games. Football practice is there. We're hoping if the next plots goes through, that'll enable us to be able to put some bleachers up out there and fences around our playing fields. The football leagues bylaws requires them to have a fence around their playing field to keep small children from getting hurt, and hopefully under this we'll be able to do that.
What's some of the items you do to make sure that facility stays in tip-top shape for I know the middle school baseball plays there.
Middle school baseball plays there,
and
yes.
then all that, but what's some of the equipment you use day to day to keep that place doing?
We use our golf carts and gators to get around, to do weed eating, to do small jobs. Our tractor with a front end loader on it, we have to constantly putting out sand on the grass, or infill mix on the infields, or hauling dirt conditioner with the forks on the front end loader there. And our mowers, because we maintain around 40 acres.
Yeah, and the mowers, we've got some. You had me look at one because I have the same brand of a grasshopper, and you've got one that's pushing 12,000 hours.
It's got 12,000 hours on it, and if you do the math, if you're running 8 miles an hour, that lawnmower's got around 100,000 miles on it.
I mean, it's in great shape.
It is.
And one of the next groups coming in will be our maintenance shop, and that's something that, when we have that, and that mower is an 03 model?
04.
04 model.
Right.
So it's been here almost 16 years.
It's been here quite a while. We grease it every day
Yep.
before we use it, and it's in pretty good shape, but it's getting old.
Yeah, and that equipment is expensive, but look, for 16 years of worth, what it's cut, and the 40 acres it's done, and one of the pieces of equipment you got at Commissioner Hartline brought up to y'all bought a reel mower.
It's a John Deere reel mower. It's what you use to mow golf course fairways.
And it was a used machine.
It is a used machine. We got it at actually about a fourth of the cost of what a new one does.
Yeah. And how much time did that save you?
It takes a lot of wear and tear off the other mowers.
But this is designed to make those infield. We're talking about the infield grass, the outfield grass, and then the soccer fields, and basically it brings that Bermuda real tight. It makes it better for them.
It mows the wild grasses down tight and enables the Bermuda to take over.
And make it be.
And actually, we've had to use less weed control because of that. And that it's still a very good piece of equipment.
How much sand do you put down every year in that Bermuda when you put it out?
I'm going to do the soccer fields and the football field this year with the road department's help. They'll haul the sand to me, and we'll put around 150 tons per soccer field and football field, so they'll be around 450 tons. Yeah. Last year, we put out a little over 600 tons.
Yeah. Well, it's a great place, and a lot of things, you and Ronnie bounce things off each other, like the lighting project that was approved and what it saves. I know that's something that Ronnie talked to you about, and he'll talk about it earlier, but it's like we talked about in between the city police department and the Dade County Sheriff's Office. Y'all work around each other, make sure schedules with the limited fields in the city, the two, and getting things out, and helping the schools, because the city helps with the school project as well. But it's been awesome that it's there. And when we had the COVID drive-throughs, I was surprised how many people were walking all day long. All day long. There. People coming and sitting at pavilions. eating lunch. We used one of the pavilions too, all day long on those last 2 Thursdays that it was going.
There are a lot of citizens here in the county. There's a few, it doesn't matter if it's 10 degrees or 110, they're down there walking every day.
Yeah.
And then you can they're on a schedule.
Yeah.
As you can see, certain groups come in at certain times and certain ones leave. But it's a big asset to the community because there's nowhere for them to go walk.
Yeah.
And there's lights up at night if they want to go late in the evening in the parking lot and around. And we've been averaging around a little over 400 ball games a year.
Wow.
And hopefully in the near future, if the COVID-19 hadn't come in, we already had 18 tournaments scheduled.
Yeah.
And since it came in and we've had to reschedule those, we are going to have some tournaments this year as soon as everything's lifted. And I've had to turn down some slow pitch tournaments, and I've even had a gentleman call me last week that wants to play 18 and over baseball on Sunday evenings.
Yeah, you were talking to us about that earlier.
And that will be free to the public.
Okay.
They're not going to charge any admission.
Well, I appreciate what you do. You've helped us out a lot. Again, when the facility's there and we've had to use it for emergencies like we did for this testing, y'all let us adapt and we worked with an area. And I think we got a couple questions for this.
We have one question, and it's about senior adult pickleball.
Yes.
Do you know if there's a senior adult league for pickleball in the area?
Well, I know there's a gentleman that lives in Wildwood, and I don't know if I should mention his name or not. His name's Bart Brandon. Bart is a 6-time or maybe even 7-time now national champion pickleball player. Bart plays in the senior division, and he contacts me a lot. He's been contacting me a lot lately, and I do appreciate that because he's ready to go, and he's wanting to do some seminars and trying to get some leagues together.
Yeah.
So hopefully, once all the COVID-19 is gone or slacks, that we can start doing that more. But the courts are open to anybody.
Yeah. And that's something when that happens, we can broadcast back out on the Dade County page and Facebook site for that. So, please visit our county website and our city website, and we will keep that information. Well, Stacy, I really appreciate what you and your men and your seasonal guys do. It's a beautiful facility. We've used that facility also for emergency training with driving of our fire trucks and, keeping it up. And we had to use it in 2011 during the tornadoes for our power company to stage some stuff there. And but it's a great facility, and please take some time to visit. So thank you so much. And next is Mr. Ronnie Page. He's the director of our City of Trenton Parks, and he's got several hats too, and also our animal control officer. Ronnie, we appreciate you being here with us today, and just kind of tell us what things same thing with Stacy, what goes on day to day. We also have a Trenton Civic Center. We got a great announcement we announced yesterday. Our Trenton City Pool opens this Saturday. Yes. And we have our 2 ball fields, amphitheater, parks. Just tell us what has done to help you and your department. You've been here in the city how long working?
Going back, Alex, I come here in '97. They was a active splosh at that time. There has been one since I've been here. Yeah. And it has helped us tremendously at the park. Say the least, we probably wouldn't be where we're at. I know we wouldn't. Yeah. But anyway, when I came down there, we had 1 ball field, which was, it was built in early 70s. Yeah. We started there, actually a couple of years after I was there, we shortened that field and put a backfield in, just a little smaller than the front to accommodate more playing. And then SPLOST kicked in. That's when we built our garage to keep our equipment in, and the batting cages, which was spliced. Moved from there as far as SPLOST. Now, and talking about that, I want to say something about the lighting. The lighting is also that old. Yeah. And it is, I think, a safety issue for the kids because it's poor.
One of the things when Moose Skull was the company that the county went with, they actually you had them come up and look at your facility too for the same thing, which is the switching equipment, which I mentioned this a little bit, but Stacy showed to me the original switching equipment's got to be replaced. That's inside the concession stand that makes it up to code for electrical and just the safety of everything for there. But that's one of the proposals in the 21 splosh, just to update that for the city park.
Right, right, and you're looking at 48 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna tell my age, but I played when I was 14. We was the first ones to play on it as pony leaguers.
One of the things y'all both were talking about earlier before we started was that type of bulb that's in them now. The electrical group, Georgia Power used to help us with it.
Right.
Now we're having to work with electrical contractors, but that bulb is getting harder to get. And it's
Right.
very expensive for those bulbs. And we've
Right.
got several out on both parks now, don't we?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Last year, we spent, it was a little under $9,000 just replacing bulbs.
Bulbs.
Which, that comes out of our general fund, out of my budget.
Yeah.
The parks budget. With the Moose Co lighting, they're giving us a 25-year warranty.
On the bulbs and
Oh,
lights.
that's for all the LEDs, the wiring, the switching, everything. So we
Yeah.
shouldn't have any more maintenance issues for 25 years
Yeah.
after we put that in. And the city
Yeah.
also.
Ronnie, what's, again, I guess some of the same equipment, or what's some other things
Well,
we've done?
going back, you know, I mean, as far as maintaining the grass, the fields, et cetera, you know, your equipment, commercial equipment you use, which it is purchased with Splosh. We always, you know, I mean, we have 2 commercial mowers, we have a Gator, we have a Cushman, which we drag the fields with, and then going on, with the past Splosh, not the current one, we did build the community center with.
Yeah.
It accommodates all types, you know.
That thing's
It is
rented.
busy.
It is, yeah.
Mainly on the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. It keeps you going 7 days a week. And then, actually, you come down to the pool, we did a pavilion about probably 5, 6 years ago,
Yeah.
which has been a big asset to it. We also put in a handicap chair lift, which will set a handicapped person in the water and also bring them out. It does, which like I said, the pool now, it's probably 41 years old, but it's in need of a filtering system.
Yeah, that's one of the proposals that you give the city when we were talking about that, is redoing that system, and it's pretty expensive. It's something for the chemicals and all, but you mentioned ADA for the pools. Didn't we do several items out in the park for ADA as well?
We did, that's the one, with the current Splosh, we built the playground, which is a great, I mean, it's super, it's
Yeah.
a nice place, and it's been used a lot. And also, we added sidewalks that joins across the creek to the pavilions. It's all ADA compliant. We have ramps coming in that is ADA, and which they can go anywhere on this side of the park that they want to.
Yeah.
They can go in the playground. It's ADA. It has a couple of ADA little areas for ADA, and but yeah, it's been a big, huge hit.
Yeah. That's
Can't
one
say
of
much
the,
about
ADA is really this year, or on this splosh, we run into systems where I was helping a gentleman with a wheelchair get onto the other side when they were having a gospel singing in the I guess the stage over there, and I said,
Yeah.
man, we gotta do something to fix on that, and we come up with a plan, and Commissioner Powell, and it worked out well, and again, we were down there a lot. I swing through just to check, and there's people sitting on the backside by the creek,
Right.
and they're eating lunch, or they're just reading a book or something. It's busy all the time.
It is. It's a real. Well, of course, you got the big shade tree. I think it brings a lot of them in
Yeah.
here, but they're walking on it more and more every day. You got several same ones
Yeah.
you see. You know, just about comes by on a schedule. But there again, that's all the current splosh has did that. But like I said before, it goes from the equipment that we take care of the maintain the grounds with to the truck we drive.
Yeah.
It just, like I said, I don't know where we'd be without it.
Well, and one of the things we do for the pool, or y'all do, is concessions and drinks, snacks, and that stuff you have to run to town and pick up. We go to Sam's and Costco, and another division you do is our animal control
Yes.
throughout the city. And the county also contracts the city if the sheriff's office gets a call for a vicious or bad, or some type of dog. And I see things all the time where you met with an officer to pick up a dog, or we give you an incident number, and that's something that between you and the full-time employee you have, that y'all alternate times of picking these animals up. And that's another proposal we have, is to update those two pieces of equipment, that we've got some age and time on the trucks that's getting on them, because that's a 24/7 job.
It is.
And we actually have animals now. I was down at the plant today looking at something with Dwayne and walked over there, and what we currently have, we're doing a great job to keep it up, and appreciate y'all doing that. And but that's something you never know.
No. And we're full right now, to say the least. Of course, we're small. We got 6 runs, and it's, you have to, but we're, we're maintaining, and have been pretty good, getting them out and making room, but doing the best we can with what we got.
Well, again, guys, I really appreciate what you're doing. Again, this is just for information to the public and the taxpayers of what we're doing and what the SPLOST has done. You'll make a decision if you want to continue these projects. We've got electrical and lighting issues and the equipment of the acreage that we keep up, and that these directors and their department does. Our children is a place for them to play with these rec leagues, these people that help with the rec leagues, from soccer to football, softball, baseball, t-ball, all the little things that do, in which we know that's on hold right now, and we hope that some of the things at the end of the month will change with that. But if you see these gentlemen out, say hello to them and thank them for their jobs they do and their men. The temperature's getting on, and they stay out a lot and have to keep the sun screen on them so they're safe and all, but we do appreciate that. So, gentlemen, we thank you. Did we have any other questions, Carrie?
No.
If not, guys, we appreciate you. We're going to swap these two guys out. We've got our Public Works divisions of City of Trenton and Dade County as our next guest. So, guys, thank you for your times and what you do. And if you have any questions or concerns that come out, you can get to us again at info@dadecounty-ga.gov, or you can contact City Hall at 706-657-4167. So these guys are going to shuffle, and we'll have 2 more guys coming up. These 2 guys right here, they take care of our public works, or what we call road department, I guess, everything, but in our budgets, we call it public works. First gentleman here to my left is Tim Weathers. He's with the City of Trenton Public Works. And the other gentleman there is Billy Massengale. He's the director of Dade County Public Works. He's also the director of the Dade County Shop, or our maintenance building that services all the county's vehicles and equipment. He has 3 gentlemen under that work on all the equipment for the county. And part of that maintenance shop is they also help us with city equipment, and the county charges us a rate, the city a rate, and we buy the material and shop, so he works the labor rate out with us. And he's also the director of the Dade County Transfer Station, which manages all of our recycle and all of our garbage that is packed and moved out, and he's got another set of folks there. So gentlemen, thank you for your time today. I know y'all are busy. This is a busy time for cutting grass, right-of-ways, everything's going on. So again, as we talked about, what some of the things, again, the information, what has SPLOST done to help your departments do what y'all do. So Timmy will work with you and what some of the things that it's done to help you. And you've been here for a while. You were under another director, and
Yes.
we've been almost 5 years here as a director for us now, and appreciate you. And you have 2 men, full-time, and we have a seasonal guy right now. So
Yes.
what's some of the things that SPLOST has done since you've been here, and what do you feel it helps do good for us?
Well, it's got us a new tractor with a bush axe, but we really need it because we used to cut the side of the roads with chainsaws and weed eaters, and we just couldn't keep up.
So we bought a used John Deere, and we sent it off and had a brand new bush axe, and that's what we're cutting our right-of-ways in the city,
Mowing the right-of-ways.
in the state right-of-ways that go
136
6 east and west. Yep, and it's a big cabbed-in John Deere, keeps the cutter safe and keeps it a lot easier on us.
Yes.
It's got us new trimmers and replaced the Christmas lights. Got us new lawnmowers that we really needed, and plate vibrator where we patched the holes in the roads.
Yeah.
And leaf back, we just got a small one.
Yeah.
And, it's got us a new work truck and a new ice machine we had down there, of course the tractor, the bush axe, and
Yeah.
it's done some paving for us.